is the Sterling vs. Podcast, here to inform and entertain the Sonic fan in you. Welcome and enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, this is Silver Rhymes.
This is Emerald Lance.
And welcome to the Sterling vs. Podcast. This is our 4th episode, and we got some info to talk about this week. We've got some Needle Mouse news. Alright people, are you excited about some Needle Mouse news?
Man, I am so excited. Anything about Needle Mouse is like awesome. Especially considering some of the news I've seen, regarding a couple of pictures, maybe?
Oh, that's right, Lance. This week, Sega has caught wind of our art concerning different enemies of the past, and they decided to hold a little contest thingy. Basically, what they want us to do is, by Monday, as many fans as possible to submit at least 100 pieces of artwork. And then, on Tuesday, they will review to us a little snippet of Needle Mouse, including its true name. Now, within about 48 hours of submitting that on the 27th, they've seen our responses. There's close to 350 artworks submitted thus far, so they're thinking of bumping up the ante. Basically, we're gonna have a Hedgehog Week starting Tuesday, and as opposed to Groundhog's Day, we're gonna have a Hedgehog's Day. Pretty punny there. Basically, reveal, I think, a little piece of information every day that week, and maybe toss out some prizes of sorts.
I just want to interrupt. I got one thing I want to ask.
Yeah.
So, this is an official Sega thing, this whole fan art thing that they're holding?
Yeah. Basically, they showed us one more official piece of artwork, and also at the same time announced that they're gonna reveal to us more based on responses.
So, how many have been submitted to Sega?
350 plus, and keeps increasing. And you can find this on the Sega American blog for anyone who's listening.
It seems like a really small number for an official Sega thing, especially considering that it's going to be about their next big Sonic game. I would think maybe 3,000.
Well, it's artwork. They want submittable artwork by fans, whether it be done in paint or, a 3D rendering program. Just, anywhere. And, it's localized on their blog, whoever passes by it, 3,000 does seem like a lot to me. I think 100 was a low number, but since we've already got like 350 at this point, we could probably see close to maybe 600-700 by Monday. Because they only gave us less than a week. This isn't like the contest held for Black Knight. That was probably in the thousands. Speaking of which, I got Black Knight this week and hope to be playing this soon. But in any case, I've checked out some of these arts people submitted. Basically, they want us to pencil, crayon, markers, all the way to making it out of snack foods or paper mache, They just want us to make enemy designs. Well, not designs, but...
Like Cheez-Its? I saw a chomper made out of cheese.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was a very delicious design. And some of these are really well drawn and well rendered. And nice to see all this talent coming from the community. It just really shows their dedication to the series, new and old. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, if you have any artwork, go right to the American Sega blog. Post a link right in the comments, and they'll pick it right up. They'll add it right to the bunch, and, artistic talent really isn't a, matter. Maybe it's all about creativity.
What kind of fan art does it have to be? Does it have to be related to Needle Mouse, or can it be any kind of Sonic fan art?
Just any enemy from the past games, from Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic CD. So from any of the Genesis titles. I saw a couple of Metal Sonic ones. He's a bad, right? He's considered, even though he doesn't run, because, what would you consider a Badnik? The run on the animals or run on plants? Because Metal Sonic is Metal Sonic. So what do you think on that? Does he count as one? Because the Badniks we've seen, we kind of always, generalize them as animals turn into robots or
Metal plants. Sonic doesn't have an animal core in it, does he?
No, it just kind of runs on hopes and dreams of Eggman, at least.
For that matter, none of the Sonic robots do. Neither does Silver Sonic in Sonic 2 or Mecha Sonic in Sonic and Knuckles.
Interesting. Maybe they're just general robots. Because looking at the new Eggman robots, we don't call them Badniks for some reason. We just call them Eggman robots.
Well, think about it. The Japanese call them Badniks.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, Nick was part of Eggman's English name, Robotnik. So using the word Badnik was a reference to his English name.
I thought it was just a reference of their affiliation.
As far as being the same as any of his other robots, for one, Metal Sonics. The Metal Sonics weren't mass produced. There's only one of them, of each one, and we don't even know if there's only one at all. I mean, all we know is that there's only one of each model, and for all we know, it could very well be the same model, just upgraded several times throughout the story. Like every time Sonic beats it, Eggman just grabs it and makes it better, which is certainly what the Metal Sonic in Sonic and Knuckles looked like. It looked like a hyped up version of Metal Sonic 2D. Kinda almost looked like a Neo Metal Sonic from Heroes. Almost. So I don't think we can really count them as regular robot enemies, regardless of what you call them.
Right. They're bosses is what they are, you know. And this is a contest based on Badniks. General, regular enemies you see anywhere.
There are actually three kinds of machines Eggman builds. There's the Badniks, the regular robots with the animals inside of them, yeah. And then there's also his Eggmobiles, you know, the bosses of each level. That's what Eggman himself rides in. They're not really robots so much as they are vehicles, right?
Yes.
But in Sonic 3 and in Sonic and Knuckles, there were sub-bosses, mini-bosses. And they weren't really Badniks or vehicles. They didn't have animal cores in them either.
Would they be considered part of the E-Series? Because the E-Series robots were vastly different. Except for the fact...
Well, they have animals in them.
The earlier model did. That's something different. Because in Sonic Adventure 2, going into the hidden base, you see a lot of familiar faces. One of which being the spiked ball dude, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and just copies of Gamma, what I remember.
All the Gammas had animals in them.
Yeah, but then again, those were the last of them. And maybe, we saw what happened to Gamma. Maybe that's why Eggman was like, whoa, I'm not using animals anymore. Because essentially that was what brought all his E-robots down. One killed the others. It kind of went crazy, in a sense.
Well, okay. If you really want to get into that thing, though, I don't think that's the case either. Because in Sonic, all the way up to Rush Adventure, he still uses animals in his robot.
Oh, right. For some reason, in the Rush games, those robots were based on the robots used in Heroes. And those weren't powered by animals.
So that's very confusing. I think the whole reason they have animals in the Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 is for the Chow. They decided, say it's worth it to actually save the animals because, hey, you can feed them to the Chow. Now that there are no more Chow, or at least there's no Chow garden, there's no reason to collect animals, and so there's no reason to actually, gameplay-wise, have animals in the robots. But it wouldn't feel right if animals didn't pop out of the robots in the 2D games. That's where I'm setting it up. I'm thinking that it's just a matter of 2D versus 3D. In all the 3D games that have had animals in them, there have been Chow to give them to. Whereas in the 2D games, it just doesn't feel right. Animals don't pop out. I know it's a stretch. I know I'm grasping, but that's the closest thing I can come up with.
Well, no, that definitely makes some sense. All the Advance and Rush series, they had animals in just about every enemy. And then again, that was supposed to be sort of an echoing of the past games. But in the 3D games, whatever came out of the robots had to relate to gameplay. And if it didn't involve Chow, then it had to give you something else. Like in Heroes, it gave you those energy orbs. And the other ones, it just kind of just exploded. Like the ones in Unleashed, I believe.
I don't know what they gave you.
I think they just kind of exploded and gave you boost energy. I think that's an exception because you're going so fast, there's really no point in picking up anything they drop. So whatever they give you would have to be automatic, so boost energy it is. A lot of the other games didn't really have Eggman robots at all, so I can't think of any. Like the Storybook series and Sonic 06. Did Sonic 06 have Eggman robots? I can't recall.
Sonic 06 had Eggman robots, but I don't ever want to see them again.
Why?
Well, remember how Sonic Heroes took the Eggman robot and made them like a theme? Like how they all had the big old smiley face. They were all orange and yellow, that kind of movie.
They're like little Eggmen.
Yeah, kind of, you know. That became like a mainstay in all the games pretty much after Heroes. Well, they weren't in 06, at least not to my knowledge. I didn't see any in my playthrough. Instead, what would be them was actually the metallic things, those big metallic skinny things that you see all over the place whenever you look at pictures.
Alright, those robots. Yeah. Pretty realistic looking robots. Another disappointment of that game. But anyway.
They made the robots skinny, just like Eggman.
Just like Eggman. Everyone went on a diet and there were cupcakes. They had to lay off the donuts from the back room. But yes, what would you say your favorite little Badnik would be?
Ooh, my favorite Badnik. There's so many. They're all so cool in their own way, but it'd have to be a two-way tie between two Badniks. The first one would be the chicken guy, Mushroom Hill, in Sonic Knuckles. Remember him? The one who like took breath and like would blow you away? He was cool. He was so annoying, and I think that's what made him really cool, Badnik. Three-way tie, I'm sorry. The other one would be Crab Meat from Sonic 1, because Crab Meat's awesome. If you've ever read the Archie comics, I mean, most Sonic fans don't generally like the Archie comics, but I do. And on the first issues, when it was still this wacky thing, you know, that made no sense, Crab Meat was the most awesome failure. I mean, it just love to hate to love Crab Meat. And then I guess the other one, the third one, because it is a three-way tie, not a two-way, like I said, would be that little roly-poly thing on the Green Hill Zone. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. It's got those two little claws. The very first enemy you see on Green Hill Zone, Sonic 1.
Oh, you mean Motobug?
Yeah, the Motobug. It doesn't have any attack. It doesn't do a thing but move back and forth, but it's so freaking cute. I want one.
Have you seen the upgraded version that someone drew? I believe it's right under the Cheez-Its pic. Someone did the same person. I'll have to find it for you. They did the upgraded version of the flying one that shot balls at you, also in the first level. The little flew by real fast.
Buzz Bomber.
And then like Buzz Bomber. Yeah, Buzz Bomber. The same guy did an upgraded version of that, and it looks amazing. It just keeps its small head, but it just looks so amazing. I'm gonna have to show you that later. So
that artist seems to be keeping the like little tiny heads of the Badniks while giving their bodies like uber upgrades.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious and adorable.
It's adorable. And awesome.
Oh man, let's see. My favorite Badniks. Whew. Man, I like a lot of them.
I know, it's so hard to decide.
It's like I need a reference sheet of sorts, just to, like look at all of them, but like, oh yeah, that guy. Because a lot of the art I see, I'm like, well, I don't remember that one, and I gotta really think. Well, you know, if I don't see the name of it or the level reference, it's like, where did I see that from? I really don't remember. And then I'm like, oh man, now I remember, and I'm like, oh, it was so annoying, or it was so. You know, this or that. There's a lot of enemies. There's more enemies, I would say, in the past games than there is in all the new gen combined. There's literally at least probably like, would you say around 15 to 20 per Genesis game?
Yeah, at least. Each level had 3 or 4 different types.
Yeah.
So types. There were 7 zones, except for in Sonic 1. You do the math.
Yeah, so that's probably...
You pretty much had it right on the dot.
So maybe around probably around 300 for all the old games, right? 200, 300.
Right. Well, I mean, there were some games that reused certain Badniks, like Sonic 2 and Sonic 1, but they both had Buzz Bombers in the first level. And they both had the Piranha that jumped up. I don't remember its name.
It's the Chopper.
The Chopper?
The Chopper. With the chops. I guess the real Piranha from Sonic 3, that's called something. That's related more to the Piranha, because it like actually latches on and just sucks on. My favorite Badniks, let's see, I guess I'd pick randomly 3. I like from Sky Chase Zone, the turtle.
Oh, I hate it.
Because essentially, the big turtle was not, you couldn't destroy him. It was just there for riding, and it was, I liked it. I just liked it. Another one. I don't know if this counts, because he's unreleased, the red dinosaur from Sonic 2 goes by Reds, so Red's the dinosaur. But yes, Reds. I think he just looks cool.
Oh yeah, he really should have been in that game. I think he was slated to be in Hidden Palace with him.
Yeah, him, along with, I think maybe, was it a bat? It's a bat. I think there was a bat, and there was one more. I think it was a green dinosaur, maybe. Yeah, we'd have to look into that.
There was a green dinosaur. When I played it, I couldn't remember if it was green or red.
Well, we'd have to get back to that later. I know there are probably 3 unused Badniks all from that level. I don't know if there's any reused ones in that level from other levels. I have a good feeling that all 3 of them are unused. A third one. Remember the thing with the spike on all 4 sides from the Death Egg? That you didn't know if you can kill it? You'd have to attack it from an angle like between its spikes or something.
On the Death Egg?
Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, you mean the one that shot the spike, that jettisoned its bottom spike downward at you?
That one. I found that scary because I never think I can kill it. Like, if I faced it right now in game and just like, oh, I'm just gonna run into that, just kill him, But I don't think that. I think if I try anything, it's just gonna shoot something, summon 1 million spikes. I don't know, a limited spike works on me and just kill me, and it just be so scary.
You really thought that?
At times, for a split moment, I would, come up to it and just be like scared out of my wits end. Once it's off screen, I'm like, that wasn't too bad, and I just keep going. I can think of quite a few enemies that give me a similar feeling of, they just look so invincible, and I just be scared for at least a second. And at times, some are just annoying for when they come on screen, and then as soon as they do what they need to do, they're suddenly harmless. For instance, from Hydro City, the thing with wheels that shot its shell off its back with all the spikes on it, and at the once it appears on screen, it shoots in, and you're like, and then it passes by, you chase after it after it's done its business.
Wait, what?
I wish I knew all these names, but it's the type of entity that shows up, does its thing, and runs away. But this one was so particularly annoying.
The Hydro City. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I hated that one. The snail thing.
Yeah. I guess if I had to pick a one that I really did like, I'd have to pick this one. I think it was from Sonic CD. Yeah, Sonic CD.
Oh, yeah. That would keep shooting stuff at Sonic, like during the ending scene.
Yeah. It was so cool. This game, content-wise, being that it's only a 2D game, just be willing to cram in maybe close to 200 enemies.
I mean, I've got my own theory about Needle Mouse.
Like how big it's, they're willing to go.
No, different.
Different? What?
About the whole Sonic 4 thing?
Yeah?
Yeah, I got a theory about that.
Oh.
I'm thinking it's going to be like how McDonald's did the McRib. They took it away, and then they made you one. They're like, sorry, we're out of McRib. And then all of a sudden, like, huzzah, McRib's back, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they made all these bad Sonic games on purpose so that we could really, 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 really want a Sonic 4. And then they'll be like, you know what? Let's purposefully leak some information about this whole Sonic 4 thing and see where they go. I think they purposefully leaked it, made it quote-unquote look like an accident. I think that's what they did.
What did they accidentally leak? They didn't accidentally leak anything.
The rumors about Sonic 4.
They told us that.
Well, they're really bad at accidentally leaking information.
No one ever said they... Where have you been? For someone who's been...
Okay. Anyways, back to my theory.
Conspiracy.
They're doing this whole Sonic 4 thing because they did all these bad games on purpose. They were all like, you know what? Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Riders, and later maybe a game for the 360 that has a female woman, like human, kissing Sonic. A dead Sonic. Gasp! Why would you do such a thing, Mr. Sega President Man? So that we can make Sonic 4, and it will be that much more awesome when we do. That's why they did it. Oh. And they could be all like, we need some kind of good game in there somewhere. Sonic Unleashed. But there's got to be a catch. It's got to be bad somewhere. Werehog! We can make him turn into a werewolf guy. Yeah, and then make it slow. That's. I'm gonna stick to that theory.
Really? So you're gonna completely ignore the Advance and Rush series and say they've just been purposely making that game?
They're making this huge deal about releasing the real title of the game if they get enough, fan art. They're building it up. They're building up the tension so that when they say Sonic 4, everybody's gonna go insane and Sega is gonna be the new god. It's exactly what's gonna happen. We've been wanting a Sonic 4 more than we've been wanting a Final Fantasy VII remake on the PlayStation 3. I mean, that's just the way it is. Sonic 4 has been the holy grail of gaming ever since they didn't make one. I think they're riding on it. I think Sega really hoping that we're going to go freaking insane at the news that it's Sonic 4. And if it's not Sonic 4, I will eat my hat.
Well, what kind of hat would that be?
Remember the Sonic anime? The Sonic OVA?
I happen to do so, yes.
I'm gonna eat Knuckles' hat.
You're gonna eat Knuckles' hat?
Yes, Knuckles' treasure hunting hat that he has.
Folks, if you're looking for a job position on our show, we have an opening starting today because we're starting to have people committed, and it's getting messy on this side.
Maybe the one.
If you want to be a co-host on our show, if you want to be a co-host, guys, if you want to replace this guy, because I think he's completely
awesome,
nuts.
And I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and I'll get 1 million page hits.
Lance, you're fired.
No,
we're having you committed.
I'm not
We're having
fired.
you committed today.
My hat's on fire.
Remember, folks, email us if you want to be in our show. Lance, you know I can never let you go, no matter how insane you are. And I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart.
Good.
It's coming from the same place where I get a lot of my heartburn. Anyway, enough of the conspirating of the past years. Do you have any ideas on what Needle Mouse just might be, based on what we've seen so far? Based on Sega's recent, seemingly crazy actions?
You were there. You were paying attention when Sega was crossing off names on who's going to be in the next Sonic game, right?
Yes.
What big mainstays were there other than Sonic that were crossed out? Like, what big names? Tails or Knuckles crossed out?
No.
Sonic 4. Right there.
Alright, what I think this is, it might be a Sonic 4, but not called Sonic 4. Maybe, fundamentally, it is just a Sonic game with around 20 levels, a whole bunch of Badniks, a full musical track with amazing instruments, kind of like remixes of the past, but this is good. As they said, it's gonna be a whole new adventure, so you won't see any of the old levels. You won't see you won't hear any remixes of old songs. Hear all brand new tracks and levels and whatnot. Most enemies, though, is what's gonna make their big comeback, the Badniks. So we're gonna have all these levels, all these musics, same old Badniks in a brand new way. It's basically one giant remix that's just gonna blow us out of the water, because graphically it's gonna amaze us. Musically, we have not been disappointed yet. Idea-wise, it's only Sonic that they're telling us. I mean, they pretty much let us know Sonic's playable. All these extra characters that come out since past CD are not going to be in the game playable that we've seen on the list. Pretty much, minimum, Sonic and Robotnik. Now, Tails and Knuckles, will they be in there story-wise? Probably.
Well, I'm not saying whether or not they're going to be playable.
Well.
What I'm saying is, will they be in it?
Well, yeah. Will they be in it? So, at all? Maybe, most likely.
Like Knuckles
will they be playable?
In Sonic 3, but he wasn't playable.
I'm saying, in this game, will they be playable? Most likely, yes. I'm gonna say they're unlockables after not meeting them, but actually being in the game. There's a full difference, because in Adventure, they were playable after beating them, but this time, they're unlockable after beating the game. They're not gonna be, downloadable characters. We're not gonna have to, grasp, beg Sega to blow them in. They're gonna be in the game no matter what. And possibly see a Metal Sonic cameo. Maybe.
That's why I'm saying it's gonna be Sonic 4. I mean, I'm thinking they're gonna go all out official with it. I think they're going to release it as Sonic the Hedgehog 4. And on that note, There's no reason that they can't release a 5 or a 6 or a 7.
Well,
They can't there's no reason they can't follow the Final Fantasy trend.
That's what I'm sort of worried about, because I don't think it's going to be an official Sonic 4. And I don't think it can be, because it's just, I mean, spiritually, it could be a Sonic 4. You know, it's a 2D Sonic game that won't look like, well, will look like, but at the same time, not. It'll be an upgrade of the old one. But I don't think it will be an official Sonic 4. Because if we're going by, oh, it's 2D, 16-bit graphics, we could say that the Sonic Advance series could be a sequel. But, you know, they were labeled differently. So we wouldn't call that Sonic 4, 5, and 6. We wouldn't. Because they're just different games. So
no, because they're Sonic Advance games. But if they were called Sonic the Hedgehog 4, then it would be an official Sonic the Hedgehog 4. And there's no reason, considering the amount of characters that they're going to have, or more like the amount of characters they're not going to have, there's no reason, especially considering that they're taking fan art from all previous Badniks, right? I mean, they're really grasping the concept of going back to the roots, and the roots were the first 4 Sonic games. 5, I guess, if you count CD. The roots were those Sonic games, you know? There's no reason they can't pick it up from there again, especially considering how much of an emphasis they're putting on going back to all that right now. They were talking about, more or less in a sense, going back to that with Sonic 06. Not so much going back to the way it was, but more their goal was to reinvent it. And they did kind of reinvent it, just not in the way they wanted to. They reinvented Sonic to look like, you know, really bad, right? But there's no reason that they can't revisit what they want to do. I mean, they've been with Nintendo for so long, Sega has, that there's no reason that they can't just perfect their fan service like Nintendo has. I think Sega has the capability, I think that they have the motive, and I think that they have a really good starting place for going with Sonic 4. An official Sonic 4. And I think now would be the perfect time, especially considering the fact that most Sonic fans, though it's an opinion I don't particularly agree with, most Sonic fans want Sega to go back to their roots, to go back to 2D. And, you know, like I said, I don't particularly agree that that's the best way to do things, but I'm not going to say it's a bad way, and I think that, just as I said, they have every reason to do exactly that.
If that's what you think, Lance. Definitely something to sleep on.
That's not what I think. That's what I believe. Oh, that's what I know.
That's what you know.
I know it to be true.
Alright. But yes, people, you've heard what we had to say. We like to hear what we have to say. So catch us on Facebook. Start up a discussion there. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening in. Remember to spread the word. Tune in next week. See you guys.
See you later.